What's up, everybody? This is the Jersey Devils Brocast, brought to you by Radio Garden State. My name's Papa Reese. I'm here with my brother Jim. How you doing, Jim?
Doing good, buddy. Getting ready for game three.
Oh yeah, last two games weren't too great, but game three, maybe at home, we can turn this one around.
Time to turn the page.
All
Just
right,
one shift, one period, one game at a time. And let's
that's
try and
right.
crawl back into this, right?
Like the Bob Seger and Metallica song, "Turn the Page."
Turn the page, which I
All
like
right.
Metallica's version the best.
I mean, it is very intense. It
It
is.
is very good. Maybe they need an intense song like that before they go out on the ice for game three, huh? What do you
I
say?
think that or Yanni. It's
Yeah.
either one of the two.
Yeah. Yanni still gets me pumped up all these years later, when
Me
I'm
too.
just
Me
doing
too.
yard work.
Yeah, exactly. Neighbors look at you weird, but hey, they don't understand.
Yeah, why is that guy throwing his shoulder into the trees on his yard like a total psychopath? Like, oh,
Dun,
he's
dun,
listening to
dun,
Yanni
dun.
and
Yeah.
here's Doc Emmerich going through his head. Yeah,
So do you think that we can make the Prue Center, the Rock, the same type of atmosphere that Carolina made?
I sure hope so. I mean, Carolina's known for their home ice advantage and the Caney Maniacs or whatever the hell they call them down there. Something
Whatever.
stupid. I don't like it.
Yeah.
Um, can the Rock be loud? I think it can. I've been there before when that place was shaking. I was there in the playoffs in 2012. Ponikarovsky's OT goal against the Flyers, and that place was going crazy. It certainly can. I think that's a something that could, we have to use this as an advantage. We need home ice advantage, and the fans are certainly part of that. It's not just how the team plays, but it's an intimidation factor of the arena being loud and the fans being loud, and
I
that
mean, it's like the
energy and
seventh man
players
on
feed
the
off
ice.
it.
The
Yep,
crowd has to be the seventh man on the ice.
absolutely.
It's the way the dome is in New Orleans. It's the way that the Garden is for the Knicks. Like you
Yeah.
need to make it loud, and we need to
Absolutely.
keep New Jersey loud here.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And, if the Devils come out, I think one of the keys, they got to come out on fire. They got to play
Absolutely.
like with pace, physical, forecheck their ass off, and like, let's go kind of
Right?
attitude from the second the game starts, and you're going to keep the crowd in the game. If they come out like they did in game one, then
It's
that
not going to
crowd's
work.
going to be a funeral in that arena by midway through the first period. Like, but if they come out, they play with some pace, if they play like they did in game two, where they
I th
came out physical
Exactly.
game, the fans will get into it.
I totally agree. If they play like they did in the first period, first beginning of minutes of game two
Mm-hmm.
at the Rock, then I feel like they have a chance because the
Yeah.
fans start getting behind them.
Yep.
The chance, the Devils guy will come out, the Jersey
Yeah.
Devil will come out. And also
Bauman. You
intensity.
know.
That's what's been lacking these
Yeah.
last couple of games because they don't have that home ice advantage. Carolina was smart by not allowing anyone else to buy tickets except for Carolina fans
Yeah. Yeah.
because there's no nothing for Devils fans there. So
Yeah.
really got to make the atmosphere in the Rock high intensity.
Yeah.
One of the things that I think will make it high intensity is some of the promotional like food stuff they
Yeah.
have going on,
Yeah.
like the
Yep.
stick beer. The
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
I like the stick beer.
I
Yeah,
do. I'd definitely be getting one of those.
I
100%.
me too. They
Yeah.
have the goalie mash chicken tenders. I love the chicken tenders, so I'm buying that.
Yeah, I think that the games we went to, we almost ate all of the chicken tenders and beer at Prudential Center because
I
that's like we
think we
eat like
did that.
children when we go to hockey games.
Yes. Well, that's part of the nostalgic thing. And they also have the
Yeah.
fishbowl cocktail.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah, that looks pretty cool. Yeah, it's got like a
Cool.
little devil's like straw.
Straw in it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent.
I mean, I like the first two. The fishbowl thing you can get anywhere, but I
Yeah. The
mean,
hockey stick is cool, though.
the hockey stick is really cool.
Yep.
Gold mask I would put on my shelf.
Yeah. I could put the hockey stick behind me here on the wall.
Exactly. Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool. But
Drink beer out of it the entire broadcast.
yeah, there you go. There you go. But, you know, uh,
Some of the things that we need to do to win.
Well, I think if the status of Luke Hughes and Brendan Dillon, more importantly, Luke, now, I think Dillon is very important too, but with Luke, his ability to bring the offense as well as the defense, they really need that. They need that guy that puck possession, push the play, push the pace, one of the best skaters in the game. I mean, he's developing into one of the best defensemen in the game. And to miss him was huge with all the injuries that we've just talked about ad nauseum here. But to then throw that on top of it, that just feels like such a gut punch. So can he be in a lineup and can he contribute? And the same with Dylan. You want a physical guy in that lineup who's going to drop the gloves. And we saw Dylan do that a few times this year and get in the face of opposing players and protect your goalie and do some things. Like he's got to be in that lineup. But I think the big thing is
I hope
bottom
they're in there. I
six.
mean, right now they won
Yeah.
skating, so
Yeah, they weren't. I don't know. Is that a rest thing to give him as much
right.
rest as possible going into game three with the extra day? I hope so.
I know
But
it's
we'll
the
see.
playoffs. They try to keep everything under the cuff, so
Yeah,
you
everything
really
tight.
might not even know until puck drop.
Yeah. I think the other thing, the biggest one, is that bottom six has to give you something.
Right.
And the game one, they
Absolutely.
gave you nothing at all. They didn't play well defensively. They didn't give you anything physically. They didn't bring any energy. It was just a big zero in that entire bottom six. Game two, they played
Absolutely.
better, but the glass line, Keith made mention of in his press conference today, like for them trying to find their game, like enough of the trying to find your
Right.
game nonsense. You're in the playoffs.
You're in the playoffs, and we
We're
need
not finding
face-off
our
games.
game right now. Like they have to, if you're not going to score, bring energy.
Bring energy
Crash line
100%.
back in the day type of energy. Carter
Yeah.
Gianta Bernier, one of my favorite fourth lines ever. Like, just you're going to come out there, you're going to forecheck hard, you're going to finish hits, we're going to stir it up, you're going to change the pace and set the tone. At least do that if you're not going to
Absolutely.
produce any offense.
Yeah, absolutely. We need to win face-offs again. That
Yeah,
we were keeping up in there in the first period, but then second period, especially the end of the game, we
yeah.
were only down one, and we couldn't get that face-off in our own zone, and boom, you
Yeah,
know.
and I mean, we've talked about that. Like, Nico's really your only guy. He can't take every face off.
I mean,
They don't have
Glass
really
isn't
have
he a
anybody
center?
else.
Like, wasn't Glass a center? Like,
He is, but he hasn't been great on faceoffs with the Devils for some reason. And
right.
Hall has been solid, but
Right.
Lazar is okay on faceoffs, but he's not a guy that's going to be taking offensive faceoff. And same with Hall, like you need someone else that is an offensive player to take those
Mm-hmm.
draws, and they just don't. That's been a problem now all year because even when Jack was in the lineup, he's not good on faceoffs. That's the
Right.
one weakness in his game right offensively right now is he's not good on faceoffs at all.
Right.
And that was something we talked about the trade deadline. Like, can we get another centerman? Like a guy like Brock Nelson was, on everybody's wish list, went to Colorado, but great on faceoffs. A guy that can take some of the pressure off of Nico with that. And like it seems right now, if Nico's not taking a faceoff, they're losing it. It certainly feels that way. I don't
It
have the
does.
numbers, but it feels that way for sure.
It does. So now that we're coming to the end of our short here, our
Yeah,
short game preview,
yeah.
uh, you know, we got the novelty food, we got the preview of the game.
Mm-hmm.
What is your prediction for the game?
I think the way Markstrom's been playing and the energy the Devils can bring here and the
Hmm.
fans, I think they do win game three. I'm going to go
Right,
one game at a time with this team. I'm
right,
not going to go too far ahead, but I
absolutely,
can see a 2-1 win where Markstrom makes like 35 to 40 saves.
right.
Maybe it's a game that could go either way, but I think the Devils can squeeze one out and get some life here. I think Markstrom's going to be a big one. I just saw his goals saved above expected per 60 is first in the league right now in the playoffs. He's been
He's
outstanding.
he's standing on his head. That's why
Yeah.
like a defense is almost non-existent. I'm going to say this. I'm going to say it's going to be close. I want to say 3-1 because I love the Devils, but I'm going to say 3-2 or 4-2 Devils.
Okay. I'm going
I think
2
that we're
1
going to
Devils.
win, but
Yeah.
I think that the Rock can get if the Rock gets loud, and like
Mm-hmm.
we're keeping New Jersey loud on
Yep.
Radio Garden State and
Yep.
the Jersey Devils broadcast, they can do it.
Yes. Let's do
That's
it.
what I'm
Come
saying.
on. Let's be
Let's
loud and
go
be
Devils.
proud.
That's right. Let's go Devils. We'll see you at game three. Rock the rock, baby. This is
Let's
the
go.
Jersey Devils broadcast on Radio Garden State. Keep on listening, like, subscribe, and comment, please. Let's go Devils.